Hello everyone, this is Sheree from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing tonight? Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. This is the second video in my new series of working on my design team project for Done by Dorothy Orr. And I'm using her Mountain Flower digital kit. And I said in my first video that I didn't have a book to use with this one, so I made my own book. So in this, the first video we just did this. It was a pretty short video, and I shared with you the digital kit. So in this one, I want to work on the fabric. So I was just going to go ahead and do a little bit here, work on the cover, whatever I can do on video. I don't usually sew on video. If anyone is interested in seeing me sew on video, let me know. But I don't know if people are really interested in that, so I don't usually do that. But here's the fabric I'm using. This is a cloth napkin. It's probably vintage. I picked it up at a thrift store. I have 3 of these, so I'm using this one right now first. And I was just starting to figure out how I was going to put it on here. So I decided, first of all, that I needed to cut off. See, there's a little edge here, like a sewn edge on the edge of this. It's pretty, but I don't want a lump here inside. This is going to be folded in here. I don't want a lump here, so I'm going to cut that off. So this is just a working on this cover video and real-time kind of crafting type thing. So but this is what I'm doing, just cutting right here on the edge of this piece of sewn part. I just don't need that. I don't know if I can use that for anything. I could possibly use it on the top of a tag for like the string on the top of a tag, so I won't throw it away yet. I'll save it for a bit and see if I use it. But right now I don't think I need to cut off all 4 sides, so I'm just cutting off 2 sides. I'm going to see if I can go from there, because I'm going to have to cut this down a little bit, because I want to put it I want to do it in a way where I'm putting 2 pieces on, one on the front, 2 pieces of this fabric, one on the front, one on the back. Okay, so I want to work out the front of the book cover first, and then do all my sewing as far as, well, not all, I don't have to do all my sewing, but I probably will, just to get whatever I'm going to sew on the front. Like I was thinking about putting this bird from the Edith Holden book on the front, so I'd like to sew around this bird possibly. However, I decided to put it on here, whatever, like just the bird, or maybe cut this part out. I'm not sure yet, but I want to sew this onto the cover and then sew fabric over that so you don't see the sewing through the cover, right? So that's my plan right now. And this is the inside of this cover right here. I'm saying this is the outside, just because this is where I folded it over. Not that you're going to see any of this, but that's just what I'm doing. So let's see. Here's the 2 sides I cut off. So I'm going to do it like this, and just leave like about an inch, or maybe an inch all the way around here. Let's see, I don't really need this right now, so let me put it over here on the other side of my table so I can have room to cut. But something like that, so I have plenty of room, see, to fold this over. I'm going to fold it over, glue it down, and sew it down. It'll be nice and secure here. And so let's see how this goes. I'm just going to cut an inch over here. Yeah, I've got a good inch over here. So let's go ahead and cut this. Like I said, I have 2 more of these cloth napkins, so if I mess up, I have 2 more, but I'm hoping I don't want to mess up and waste anything. I had 4 of these cloth napkins, but our fabric napkins, but I used one, most of one or all of one. I don't know if I have scraps from this, but I think I used one on the spine of one of my journals one time, probably about a year or so ago. Don't believe I have that one anymore, but so I'm just trying to cut a straight line And then we're going to glue this down so you can see how it looks and maybe get a plan on the bird. And then I'll go and sew it and come back to you with a separate video on what I do next. So this won't be a very long video because I'm not really doing that much. I don't know how long this will take, but probably not very long. Okay, so first I want to look at my flowers. Let's turn this over and see how I want my flowers. Okay, so I've got this piece, and I didn't really, I don't mind this blank spot here because this is going to be the front of the book. Okay, just pretend, imagine. And then there's going to be this bird here. And that's the plan anyway, unless I change my mind. You never know. We can change our mind at a moment's notice, right? If we suddenly don't like what we're doing. But let's see. So the bird won't completely fit on here, I don't think. So I'd have to, I think I'm going to have to really fussy cut out this bird. It's hard for me to fussy cut out Edith Holden pages, but I'll manage. I usually use them whole. I don't know if I've ever actually fussy cut one. I might have fussy cut one. So I remember using little pieces of the words before. So I know I fussy cut at least one before. So maybe we'll do it right here on camera today to see how it looks. And if I don't like it, I might just change my mind on the whole plan here. But I do want to use this fabric on the cover. I just might change my mind on what I put on top of the fabric, right? So let's go ahead and glue this down, see how it looks. So I'm going to, this is the inside. I want this to be in the middle of the fabric, and I want to, let's see, so it's going to be like this. We're going to fold it down, and what you have to do is cut a little bit off the corner so you don't have a lot of bulk right here when you're gluing down the corners. So I'm just going to cut. I don't want to cut too close to the corner because you don't want to have a blank spot there when you're folding over, and if you don't have any fabric there at all, then you'll have your corner showing. And if you don't want your corner showing, then you have to leave a little bit of fabric there. So let's just cut a corner off here, and cut all of our corners off, leaving a little bit of fabric there. Just taking away some bulk at the moment, and then we'll see how we're doing. Sometimes you just kind of have to play it by ear and see what you need to do, right? And sometimes you do it one way one time, and then the next time you do it a completely different way, right? Because you just go with what you're feeling or something, whatever seems good at the time. So. Okay, so I think I just want to see how this is going to be. Something like this. It'll be folded down here, and I want to see the bulk here. Okay, so it's going to be something like this. And I'm going to sew this down, but I want it to be a nice fold here. So, see, that's sticking up. Why is that sticking up there? Okay, I think I need to cut off. I wonder if I can fold and then cut. See this right here? I'm going to cut a little bit more right here. I think that'll be all right. Like I said, if I mess up, I have another piece. 2 more. Okay, so playing it by ear a little bit. So this one too, see how it kind of sticks up there? This is what I'm talking about. When I fold it over, it's sticking up right here. Can you see that right there? I don't like that. I don't want that. So I'm going to fold it over. Let's see, let's fold it over this way. And cut that off a little bit, that corner there. A little bit more right here. It's like we're cutting off some bulk and that little point. Okay, the same thing on the bottom. All right, let's see how this folds. And maybe I'm doing it wrong, but it'll work out in the end because I'm going to work it out, right? Whatever I have to do to work it out, I'm going to work it out. Okay, so the same thing. I'm folding it up and taking off this right here a little bit more. And the cover, the inside is going to be covered. All this is going to be covered, so you won't see any rough edges here. Another piece of fabric is going to go over the whole inside here, so that this won't be an issue if this is kind of, if it is anything showing that I don't want to be showing, I'm going to put a complete piece over this whole inside. Okay, so let's see how this folds. I still don't want too much bulk here though. Okay, so the same thing over here, a little bit more off this corner. And then I think we'll be ready to glue it down. Okay, there we go. Now let's see how we do. Might be cutting off some more. Okay, it's in place. I got my fabric tack here. I think I am going to turn it over, and I'm going to try to keep it in place and put some glue on here first. Let's do like half at a time so I can kind of keep this where I had it, right? I need to keep it where I had it because I cut those corners to fit exactly, pretty much. Okay, let's get this going. So I hope everyone had a great day. Couldn't wait to get home. I have a kind of a free night here and was watching some, participating and watching a live before I turned on the camera, and that was fun on YouTube, one of my YouTube friends. And I was cleaning up my craft room from my project that I worked on this morning. And I'm putting extra, I always put a little bit of extra glue here in the groove, even though I might sew in there later. We'll see. I want my fabric to be glued down in the groove. I don't want it sticking out or puffing out or poofing out or, making a get bunched up and poof out type of thing. So, okay, that looks good. Plenty of glue there. I just want it to stay in place, stay flat, so I can sew it down later without any wrinkles. You know what I mean? So I'm going to push it out, kind of maybe pull it out, make sure it's nice and straight. And then we'll do the bottom half of it. Just rub it all over. You don't really have to get it in the groove yet, but I'm going to before my glue dries because I'm going to have to, it might dry before I get the second half done, the bottom half. Okay, so let's pull it up. This is where our glue is right here. I can feel this part glued down there. So let's just put some more glue on here. So I have done this before with, I usually do it with file folder. So you can do it with file folder, the same thing. I just wanted to try it with cardboard since I wanted to try kind of sewing through cardboard because it's more like a book cover. Like maybe a little golden book cover or, just a thinner book cover. So I thought it would be neat to try that for a change, something different. It's easy to sew through a file folder, right? Or at least I find it easy. Okay, so there we go, plenty of glue there. So let's get this all smoothed out. And I can't see any glue through here, so that's nice to see. I was a little bit concerned about that, but I can't see any glue through this fabric. So that's awesome. I don't know if I'm going to put any lace on the cover. I'm still debating that too. So, but I wanted to go ahead and turn on the camera in case you are new to junk journaling and, or you've been around for a while and maybe you've never made your own cover like this. So I just wanted to share this process, or how I do it anyway. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fold this just to give it a little bit of, see how it's doing, type of thing. Okay, so my grooves are okay. See, I can see the groove right here. You see when I folded it back, you can see the groove now. I bent it that way and then just flattened it out again, and then the groove appeared here. I didn't think it was going to, but it did, which is fine. The groove is fine. You'd rather have a groove than a poof. You know what I mean? If you have it poofing out, that's not really so attractive. Not that it's wrong or anything. I like it to see the spine and the groove here. So there, it's starting to look like a book already. You can see the spine, right? Okay, so let's glue this part down here and see how that does. Let's see. Let's do, which one did I want to do first? Doesn't really matter. I think I'm just going to do the top first here. I think you can see okay. Yeah, the cover is just going to be a developing process because I don't know exactly how I want to do it. Like I said, I could completely change my mind about the bird, but it just, the other night I was thinking about, you know, Edith Holden just popped into my head. I don't know if I was inspired by a video or what, but it just looked like it would go with this kit so well that I was like, oh, wouldn't that be neat to put something on the cover from the Edith Holden book? And I haven't been using my Edith Holden books lately, so I thought that would be really nice and fun to do. Use something I haven't used in a while. Okay, now this bottom piece I'm going to go ahead and fold up. That was a big blob of glue right there. I might have to spread that around with my fingers a little bit. And even here I'm going to get in my grooves too. You know, see, I can press down here in my grooves. Right there. Okay, I'm going to get the edges, get this fabric all down good. Even though I'm going to sew, I just want to make sure it's nice and flat and no wrinkles. And I would do the same thing with paper. If I was making a paper cover where you fold paper around your cover, I would do the same thing with paper. Just glue it down. You could use paper instead of fabric, and just glue it down just like this, the same way. And then sew on it if you want, or don't sew on it if you don't want to. You can just glue it down. You know, the glue, this is Fabri-Tac. I'm using Fabri-Tac. It would be fine, you know, it would be held on fine with just Fabri-Tac. But I just like the stitching, the look of the stitching, you know, too. Okay, this is folding really nice. You know how we cut off those corners? This is folding down really, really nice. I'm glad we did it like that. Okay, just FYI, it's folding over really nicely. Okay, so I'm going to get that nice and flat as possible, and try to get me some nice corners here, flat corners. I might need a little bit more glue right under here to hold that corner down flat, which I will sew on it, and that will also hold it down flat. You know what I mean? But I want it to be, if you're not sewing, you can just get a little bit more glue in there and get your corners down, or whatever you need to glue down, get it down. Okay, just add more glue wherever you need it. And you can always cut off too. Like here's a piece right here, I might just cut that off. We'll see, I don't want to cut it too close like I said though. And these little frays, I'll just cut those off. You don't really have to, but I want a nice flat inside, so I don't want anything adding bulk under my fabric when I add it here. So let's see, the corners look nice. There's a little piece sticking right here. I'm going to just be daring and brave and cut that off. Or maybe dumb, I don't know. Let's just see how it goes. See, I don't want to make a hole or anything, but okay, I think that's all right. There's no cardboard exposed. I'm going to put a little dab of glue on there though. Just keep all the fabric down. Just like that, you know, just like a book corner. If you're repairing a book or something, put a little glue on there and get it held down securely. Okay, let's do this side. And just turn this around. I'm right-handed, so I can do everything on the right side, right? Okay, a little bit of glue over here. This is looking pretty. I mean, wait till you see when I turn it over. I just saw that it looked really pretty. Did you see that? I want to get enough glue here to glue down my whole piece of fabric. I'm going to flop over here, or flap over. So I'm putting glue on the fabric all the way down to and on the top all the way up to the top of the book cover. And I'm going to fold this over, and let me turn it this way so I can see what I'm doing real good. So I make sure this is folded in tight on the corner, and then just fold it over tight and flat if possible, as best you can. Same with paper, right? And just tuck this in too here on the corner. And see, there's a piece sticking out here. Before I even fold it, I want to cut this off right here. Adding too much bulk there. That was perfect. So you just, like I said, you just kind of gotta go with it and play it by ear when you're doing something like this. Whatever you feel like you need to do, you know. There's no rules really, just, you know, use your common sense, I would say. Okay, so let's see now. Do we need an extra glue under here? I think we do need a little bit of glue right here. Not as flat as I would like it. I'm just poking it right under the fabric there. And then I'm going to flatten that out. Okay. All right, let's see. See, I don't want anything. I want this all down nice and flat. I'm going to be sewing up here on the edge, not down here. So I want this all to be down nice and flat here for my next layer when I apply it. So just a little bit more glue there, cutting off my frays. And it looks good. It looks nice and flat. A little bit of glue right here. I see this little corner right here sticking up. So let's put a little bit of glue in there, flatten that out. I'm just using Fabri-Tac on all this. I haven't changed to anything else yet. So cleaning off my hands here. Okay, let's see the front cover. Let me just get some glue off my finger so I can not get my cover dirty here or anything. I'll get glue on it. Excuse me for 1 second. Okay, so let's just go see how it looks. So, let's see. Trying to see which way is up. I think it was like this. Yeah, we had this blank spot right here. See how nice and flat it is when I close it. When I open it, you can see the grooves. The back, nice and flat. Just some strings, but a little tiny string there. So there we go. Let me see what time we're at real quick. Well, we got a few more minutes and then I'm going to let you go. But let's just see what we want to do with this bird and see if it's going to work out, or do we need to come up with a new plan here. So this is pretty strong, but I think I can definitely sew through it. It's starting to look like a book, right? And it's nice size, like I said in the first video, it's about 5 by 7. So I think, okay, I'm gonna kind of like fussy cut this slowly and take off a little bit at a time, so I don't just go around the bird and then say, oh, I wish I would have left some of the background. So let's just cut it slowly here, a little bit off at a time, and see how much we can keep of this bird and the surroundings. Okay, I'm even going to go up here over these birds that are flying in the air at first, and just go from there. Okay, and I'm going to cut down this edge because this is all just kind of blank space there. Okay, so I'm going to save this November. I love that. So that'll be used somewhere else, maybe in this journal. That would be cool. I like to try to use my scraps in the journal I'm working on. Okay, so it's too big still. And I think I'm going to fussy cut a little bit more, like, all right, let me look at it. I think I'm going to fussy cut here, or just cut. There's a line of trees here. I think I'm going to kind of go, I really would like to keep these birds. So I'm going to go here and up around the birds and down, and maybe go down here. Some of this needs to come off right here. It's too wide. So, and I can always, like I said, I'm just kind of doing it slowly so I don't take off too much, and then I'm sorry I took off so much, right? Kind of going to start right here. And I said go up over this like horizon right here. and try to keep our bird, which I don't know. Maybe just go up and down in his wings. And then around our bird. Maybe make a little dip here. I might just completely end up cutting these birds off completely, but I think they're so cool. I would really like to keep them if I could. And then we're going to go back to the horizon here. And I'm calling the horizon the top of the trees here. So pretty. It would be pretty, I'm keeping the bird so far, but it would be pretty here just along the horizon, but we'll see how this looks. Okay, so I need to take off some of this side because it's too much, it's too wide. So I'm going to go down, I need to go down right here. I hate to, but I just have to cut off some of this. Let's see, a little bit more, I need a little bit more rounding here. I don't want any of the sharp little corners or anything. So let's just go down here. The tail, part of the tail has to come off. It's too wide, so I think I'm going to go up around here, around the bird, right here on the bottom, and not too close to the feet because, you know, they're very thin and I don't want to cut them off. I want to keep the feet, definitely. So just around the feet, kind of loose fussy cutting, what I've been calling loose fussy cutting. Not right next to the object that you're cutting, but just around it. And you can see how I'm turning my paper instead of my scissors. Okay, so let's not get carried away. Let's just go up here now and see how we're doing with the width. That can look pretty if it'll fit. And okay, so that will fit on there. I don't know if I like the birds though. I don't like that white space right there. You know what I mean? I think that's going to have to go. It's just doesn't look right. You know, it's like, you know, light color on light color. So it's like, you know, it just, I don't think it goes. So I'm going to cut here. Go ahead and cut off those little tiny birds. And then go up around. There's one more bird here. Let's see if we can try to keep him. See if he looks good. I'm going to try to just go like a little circle or curve here without making any sharp points. That's what I want. I think that looks best without any really super sharp little points or anything. Just kind of everything's curved and smooth, you know, edges. Okay, I like this. I like this. I don't know if some of this might have to come off over here. Let's see how it looks. Yes, see this is, I like it though. I like this bird here. I like this out here. I think I'm going to cut a little bit right in here and just see what that looks like. I don't think all this grass is necessary. So a little bit around the tail and the feathers right here. And if I like it here, when we're done, I'm going to glue this down and then sew it. But in case I run out of time, I wanted to tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to go under the trees here and keep these trees for right now to see what this looks like. Okay. I don't know. I like it. I like it. I think this needs a little bit of rounding here. It's too pointy. I think I might have to go ahead and cut this off. You see what I mean? We just keep cutting off more and more, right? Let me round this because this is too pointy. And go ahead and cut some of this grass off here without making any points. Loosely fussy cut around the bird, the bottom of the bird. And the bird, I mean, I could have just, like I said, cut the bird out to begin with, but I didn't want to be sorry. Okay, it's getting closer. It's getting closer. I like this bird too. I wonder if I can just, because I don't like this sticking out here. Okay, so let's cut a little bit more off. I want to see that this. I think this would be really cool if I could keep this bird. Let's see. And there's some little birds right here too. So there's a tree right here. Let's see. I'm gonna go around these birds. Ooh, what was that? I live in the country. That sounded like some kind of firecracker. But there's people, if you live in the country, probably it's the same around wherever you live. People like to go in their backyards and do target practice. But that didn't sound like a gun. It sounded like a firework or a firecracker. Okay. I still don't know. Wow. So if I put this on here, I would want the tail, see how, because I cut off the tail, I had to, but I think I would want it right over here on the edge. Put this in the middle. See, if I cut all this off, I'm going to feel like I need something under the bird. But I think, I think I'm going to end up cutting out the bird. I'm sorry if you didn't want that, but I just don't like, I don't know. I really wanted that bird though, but I won't cut that bird off yet. I'm going to cut this off right here. And I still could end up going in a different direction. I just wanted to see if this would work. You know what I mean? Okay, so kind of like fussy cutting out these little tiny birds here. All right, now this is a point. I don't want a point. So let's kind of cut around this little guy. This is a little flying bird right here that I'm cutting around. And then this is a bigger flying bird right here. I don't know if this is going to work at all, but kind of just experimenting with this. It's probably going to be look weird because you just have this one little piece that I'm going to end up cutting off, right? I could put this somewhere else. Yeah, that doesn't look right. It looks funny. All right, I'll surrender to the bird. Surrendering to the bird. I just wanted to see, you know. All right, it's just the bird now. I like just the bird, but I think I might. I might have to let this sit overnight before I glue it down and see, like come back in the morning and see how I like it, and see if I think it needs something underneath. But it really does look pretty there, with these flowers coming down over the bird and the flowers coming up here. These look like some hyacinth. So I can put it right in the middle, right here. Something like that. What I could do is put some lace right here because I cut his tail off. Where